students, welcome to second part of active voice and passive voice. In this video, we will learn the basic rules associated with conversion of active voice into passive voice. Let's get started. First, let us recall quickly what we have learned in the previous class. There are two ways that we can describe the action done by the subject in relation with the subject. That is active voice and passive voice. In active voice, subject performs some action on an object. Example, Raj Kiran repaired a car. In the sentence, Raj Kiran is the subject. He performed some action that is repaired on an object, namely a car. So, active voice says that subject does some action on an object. And in passive voice, some action has been done on the subject by an object. So let us take an example. A car was repaired by Raj Kiran. In this sentence, a car is the subject and repaired is the actioning word, that is verb, and Raj Kiran is an object. In this sentence, action repaired which has been done on the subject a car by an object. So passive voice says that what has been done to the subject, and active voice says that subject does something. Here a subject receives an action. So when it comes to the structure of active voice and passive voice, in active voice we will have a subject followed by the verb and followed by an object. The same sentence, if you write in a passive voice, the object of this sentence becomes the subject of the second sentence. That is, a car object comes here. And again you will have a helping verb was followed by past participle form of the given verb. That is, repaired, a past participle is also repaired, followed by, and this subject comes at the end. So, the formation standard form of a passive voice is, first you will have an object followed by the helping verb, and again you will have a V3 form, that is past participle form of the verb, by and followed by the subject. So, if you want to convert a given sentence which is in active voice into passive voice, there are 5 simple steps we need to remember. Let us see what are they. The 5 simple steps associated with it are, so if a sentence is given to you which is in active voice, first identify what is the subject, what is the verb, what is the object of a sentence. In this sentence, Raj Kiran is the subject, repaired is the verb, and a car is an object. And the second thing you need to do is, you have to swap subject into an object, object into a subject. That is, you have to interchange the subject and an object. The subject becomes object and object becomes subject. And convert the given verb into third form, that is past participle form of a verb. If you take any main verb, it will have a 3 forms, that is present tense form, past tense form, and past participle form. Suppose if you take eat as the main verb, so eat is the present tense form, ate is the past tense form, and eaten is the past participle form. So if you take break as an example, break is the present tense form, broke past tense, and broken is the past participle. So in active voice you may have any form of a verb. You may have a present tense form or past tense form or ing form or past participle, whatever it may be. In passive voice you have to take a past participle form of the verb, that is V3 form of the verb. So convert the given verb into past participle. And the next step is, we need to add a suitable helping verb before the main verb depending on the tense. Tense wise, you must add a suitable helping verb to represent the time of an action. And the last step is, you have to add a preposition by before the subject in a passive voice. So there are 2 things which we need to remember well before converting from active voice to passive voice. If the given subject is a pronoun, there are certain changes which it will occur. If the subject is a pronoun in an active voice, if it is a pronoun I, it changes to me. I changes to me. If it is a me, which changes to a, it is interchangeable. I changes to me changes to I. Similarly, if the pronoun is he, it changes to him. If it is him, it changes to he. If it is she, changes to her changes to she. We changes to us, and again us changes to we, and they changes to them, and them changes to they. And you must know what are the suitable helping verbs which have to be added to the passive voice according to the tense voice. Let us see. Suppose according to the tenses voice, this is the active voice sentences and these are the passive voice sentences. Let us take a main verb as in eat. Okay, for example, and see how it changes. If the given verb is in simple present tense, if it is simple present tense, in active voice generally we use either eat or eats as a main verb. Here in active voice, if the subject is I, we, you, they and plural, we use eat, and if the subject is he, she or any name of the singular, we use eats. This is the active form of a sentence structure. If the given sentence is in active voice, it in a passive voice, it changes like this. If the subject is I, you have to add the be form of the verb am. If it is he, she, it or any name of the singular, we need to add is, that is singular form of a helping verb. And if it is we, you, they and name of the plural, we have to add or and followed by past participle form of the given verb. Here a given verb is eat, its past participle is eaten. It depends on the verb, you have to use the corresponding past participle. If it is break, we use broken. If it is speak, we use spoken. Okay, if it is teach, we use taught, that is past participle. Suppose if the given sentence in active voice is present continuous tense, in active voice the sentence structure will be like this. Like it is am or is or followed by ing form of the verb. If the subject is I, we will have an am, like I am eating. If it is singular, he, she, it, and we will have the is plus ing form of the verb. If the subject is plural, there will be a or and followed by ing form of the verb. If a given sentence is in present continuous tense, in passive voice, the sentence structure will be am being, is being or being followed by past participle. Again here if the subject is I, you have to add am being. If it is singular, is being. If it is plural, or being followed by past participle form of the verb. Now let us see if the given sentence in active voice is present perfect tense. Generally in active voice, present perfect tense form of the verbs, it will be like this. Okay, if the subject is singular, we will have the helping verb has, and if it is subject is plural, we will have the helping verb have and followed by past participle form of the verb. In passive voice, if the subject is singular, like he, she, it and any name of the singular, we take has been plus past participle. If it is we, you, they and name of the plural, we use have been plus past participle form of the verb. This is about the present tense. Let us come to past tense. If the given sentence is in simple past tense, we will have the main verb ate, like I ate food. So here in the passive voice, if the subject is singular, we add the helping verb was. If it is plural, verb and followed by the past participle form of the given verb. Suppose if it is apple, it will be apple was eaten. If it is apples, apples were eaten by me. Something like that. So let us see a past continuous tense. We know that past continuous tense always tells the some action which was going on at some point of time in the past, and the sentence structure will be like this. If it is he, she, it, a name of the singular, we will have the was followed by ing form. He was eating, she was eating, Rajesh was eating, like that. If the subject is plurals like we, you, they and name of the plural, a verb. We were eating, they were eating. So this will be the general structure of an active voice. If the given sentence is an active voice and simple past continuous tense, which changes to it was and were followed by being plus eaten. Here, if it is singular, we add was being. If it is plural, we add were being followed by eaten. And past perfect tense. Generally in past perfect tense, we will have the helping verb had followed by past participle form of the verb. In passive voice, you have to add been to the had been eaten. If it is she had eaten an apple, it becomes an apple had been eaten by her. So, in future, in simple future tense, so we will have the helping verb will followed by it. In passive voice, it will become will be plus eaten. We have to add be followed by eaten. And again in future continuous tense, we will have the structure in active voice like this. Will be eating, she will be eating, he will be eating, they will be eating an apple. Here it will become apple will have been eaten. So in the place of be, we add have here in the passive voice. And future perfect tense, generally in active voice, we will have the sentence like this. Will have eaten, that becomes will have been eaten. So you must remember these rules well so that it will be very easy for you to convert a given sentence from active voice to passive voice. It's quite simple. In simple present tense, we add the helping verb and is or followed by past participle. In continuous tense, so along with the be form of the verb and is or, we add be. And in perfect tense, for the helping verb has and have, we add be. In past tense, we add was and were followed by past participle, and past continuous tense was and were followed by being, and perfect tense for a had, we add had been, and here future tense for will add will be, and future continuous tense in place of be, so it takes a have, and in future perfect tense will have been. So we don't have a passive forms for perfect continuous tenses like present perfect continuous tense, past perfect continuous tense and future perfect continuous tenses. We don't have the passive forms of the verb. This form of the verb knowing is very much important. So apart from this, in active voice, if you have any modal auxiliary verbs or any helping verbs along with the preposition, we need to add be in the passive form. If in active voice, if it is can, it becomes can be. If it is could, becomes could be. May becomes may be. Might becomes might be. Shall becomes shall be. Should becomes should be. Will becomes will be. Would becomes would be. Ought to becomes ought to be. And need to becomes need to be. Supposed to becomes supposed to be. Has to becomes has to be. Have to be. Must be, like this. So you just try to revise this different forms of the verbs according to the tense wise. So that's all for this video. In the next video, we will see how to convert a sentences, actual sentences according to the tense wise from active voice to passive voice. Thank you for watching.